Hello, readers, and welcome back to another video. This video I'm re-recording because the first one it was extremely low. Like I don't know how that happened because on my end it sounds extremely loud, but as I try to upload it, it sounds extremely quiet and it's very frustrating. And I already had deleted my clips, so we're starting all over again. So here we go. All right, so this video is all of the books that I got for my birthday. I am part of a unofficial book club. It's essentially a group of us that we buy each other books on our birth month. So everyone obviously has their birth month and everyone buys books for them for their birthday. So for October, I got a lovely stack of books over here off to the side. And I'm just going to be going over them that I got from these amazing people over on Instagram. So I kind of lost the papers of because they usually give you, they give you a slip on Amazon when someone like sends you a gift. I lost the papers, so I don't remember who bought me these, but I just know it's everyone in the group. There's like 8 of us, well, 12 of us, 12. Yeah, there's 12 of us. These are just the books that I received. So the first one is The Mysteries of Udolpho by Anne Radcliffe. This one follows Emily, who is imprisoned by her evil guardian, and he's very much crazy. I guess like there's like a lot of schemes going on, and Emily actually ends up pretty much losing her mind essentially. And I'm really into gothic and gothic horror books. Like I want to get more into it. So I'm really excited about this book. I'm I'm so excited to see what goes on in here. I feel like this will probably be my stack for January, or at least some of them. So that's one of them. All right, so next up on the list, I have The Saturday Night Ghost Club by Craig Davidson. And this one follows Jake, who actually visits his eccentric uncle who has a lot of artifacts. And Jake gets indicted into their Saturday Night Ghost Club, obviously the title. And they have like grown up adults and kids part of the club. And I'm guessing there's going to be a ghost because I mean there is a ghost on the cover. There might be some like hauntings going on with maybe the artifacts that the uncle has. I'm just really excited to see like what goes on in this book. I saw it was recommended on Instagram, and yeah, I love me a scary movie, so why not read scary books? Next up is Petrified Women by Jeremy Ray. And so this one follows Harley, who has like the perfect boyfriend after having kind of a terrible relationship prior. But Harley really loves her boyfriend Aiden, and her friends are like, "Nah, we don't like this kid. He's weird. He pulls pranks on you and pulls like jokes that aren't even funny. They're scary." But Harley's just like, "That's just who he is. He's just an artist. Oh my god, he's just a little bit quirky and weird. He does make wooden figurines of women, and he likes to be alone while he makes them. That's not weird at all." So Harley decides to prank him back because they have like a whole thing of pranking each other. And so she wants to out prank him. So she hides in his apartment, and she thinks that this is going to be like the greatest prank of them all. But before she can even like show herself, Aiden comes in and he's not the Aiden that she's used to seeing, obviously. And he starts to get like really weird, I guess. And I guess like things uncover when it comes to what happens when Aiden's alone with these figurines and his work. So I find it very creepy already. I mean, the cover is a petrified woman. It's probably one of his figurines. I'm extremely curious on what takes place even further. I saw this also on Instagram. All of these recommendations were on Instagram, so I just had to have them. But I think, I'm just going to take a guess, I think one of them comes to life and is an actual woman that he has like a relationship with, quote unquote, where it's just like, creepy. I think that's the vibe that I'm getting from this, but I'm excited to see what the actual story is. All right, the next one on the list is The Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte Perkins Gilman. And this one has the whole summary on the inside, and this one follows our main character who she doesn't really have a name. She might have a name like later on, but it just really describes that this story is a collection of journal entries of a woman who is said to be like on bed rest by her husband John because she supposedly has like depression and nervous depression and hysterical tendency. So he rents out a mansion or, just rents out a house, and she stays in the room, and it has obviously yellow wallpaper. And she comes to believe that there is a woman behind the wallpaper that she needs to let free. Yeah. So it gets really creepy really fast. So this is definitely going to be a really quick read. I feel like I can actually read this like within a day. Obviously, this is nothing, but it's very interesting to see how this diagnoses really, because there's two of them, how this plays out for the woman, and is it true, or is there like something else tied to it, like maybe something about the husband, because obviously they always love to blame the women. This was said in 1892. I mean, they still blame women now, but they always say the women are crazy, that we're insane. When actuality, it's like, no, you guys are legit weird and creepy and dangerous. So I'm curious to see, like, is she actually seeing a woman behind the wallpaper? Is she actually has been diagnosed with these things, or is it her husband that's making her believe she's crazy? Stay tuned. Next up on the list is Rotten Tommy by David Sodergren, and this one follows Becky, whose mom vanishes, and so she really wants to get her back. Obviously, she finds some old tapes in her home and kind of releases a creature, demon type thing that goes around killing people. But as Becky starts to try to figure out what this is, how to stop it, there might be a connection between that and her mother. So I'm curious to see how it all plays out in this book, see how her mother and this thing are connected. I'm kind of guessing maybe it's like, how a lot of movies go about, where it's like a family member or somebody like played the Ouija board back in like the 70s or whatever. And, they had like something come after them and they thought they defeated it, but then it's back like years later haunting their children. It's kind of like a curse. So I think that's kind of what I'm getting from it, but I could be completely wrong. So I'm excited to see how it turns out. All right, next up is The Murders of Molly Southbourne by Tade Thompson. So, the first rule in this book is that you can't bleed. If you bleed, there's a version of you that's created. So, every time that Molly bleeds, there's another Molly that's created, and she's been very good at killing other versions. But it's coming down to if she can actually kill the other Mollys before they find her, type of thing. It sounds wild, it sounds crazy, and it just might work. It kind of reminds me of the belief in just spirituality in general. I don't know if I necessarily believe in it, but I find it very interesting that if you see if you see like the copy of you, one of you's gonna die, that type of thing, it kind of gives me that vibe. So I'm very curious just to see how it plays out in here. Does Molly actually kill the other versions of her, or does another version of her kill her and take her place? Because that'll be a twist. So buckle up. The last one is The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. And this one is definitely not related to the story at all. I mean, they got their inspiration from the show, but this one follows Dr. Montague, Theodora, his assistant, Eleanor, and Luke, who go to a house and they really uncover the secrets of the Hill House. And they try to escape the house before the house makes one of them its next victim. So, yeah, I love the show. So, obviously, I would read the material that it was inspired by. And I love me a horror book. I love me a horror movie. It just makes sense. So, yeah, this is the last book that someone got me. All right, that's it for this video. If you watched all the way until the end, hit that like button and comment below maybe a horror book that you've read that you really enjoyed. And until next time, bye.